is we teach you how to hunt. We set things off in Miami. Super busy, a lot going on. First of all, the capital raise finished up. Super gracious for all of the support that we've gotten. I know we're putting a lot of positivity into the world, so I know kind of expect that full circle to come back. We did almost 43,000. Our goal was 25, so wildly exceeded that. I had a personal goal of bringing in 100 people, and we got almost 150. I know it takes a lot for people to kind of put their money down on something, and I respect the hell out of that. So I do promise to continue to see this mission through, to ultimately cool the planet, right? But overall though, yeah, we really got things jumping too. We were kind of pitching with every other second we had, I'm cooking and pitching. I was sitting out in the morning sipping coffee and pitching, in between stops at the stores pitching, just kind of getting the word out, last minute crush. And then last week we really did hit it hard. So that was crazy. We got the SBA loan that's coming through, had to file 39 different documents on that, still working through all of that. And we got the week up and going. I mean, in Miami now, there's almost 60 locations that we've got carrying the product. The first 7 or 8 days of selling, actually on the streets, training 2 new guys, and Phil and Chill are really kind of popping off. They're kind of learning anything and everything they got to do. We took them to a sampling, we were getting that cracking, But overall, training the guys, right? We started doing a lot more, started taking them through, kind of the finer pieces of it, right? Like teaching them how to sell it into the stores is one thing, teaching them what to hunt for is really the ultimate goal of the training, teaching you how to hunt. Right? That hunting is super important. How to sell it into a store, how to sell it into a grocery market, how to execute a fundraiser, how to sell it to a school, how to sell it to a municipality like a water park or a community pool, what to spot for, what to look for, but then also too kind of getting into the some of the science of it, right? The product knowledge, so understanding and then applying that product knowledge in things like samplings at a supermarket, because when you get into a supermarket, we get like 10 times the traffic in a supermarket than we do in a convenience store. So we really want to respect and support that supermarket level. So teaching people how to do a sampling, kind of how to kick some of the different things that kind of make the customers very excited about the product, not just the bullet points, but most importantly, in those supermarkets with so much traffic, you giving so many people a taste of what's going on. I mean, look, we don't lose on taste, baby. We don't lose on taste. Another thing this week that we tackled, and just to step back a second, when I started this business, I did everything, from making the product to stocking the shelves at the stores, to selling it in, to figuring out how to market it, to paying the bills, to everything across the board, right? At the start of this business. Now, but in order to grow it, I got to start to recognize what I'm really good at and kind of find people that are good at doing all of the other things and get them in place, right? So we knocked out 2 of those things this week. We had started a couple of meetings with a CFO group 2 weeks ago in New York and a digital marketing group 2 weeks ago in New York. This is my old neighborhood. It's out by Sunset Park. I used to take this train down to Coney Island. That side. Meeting with a kind of like a small upstart CFO kind of firm. They can kind of come on board as our acting CFO, kind of handle a lot of CFO-like responsibilities, but on like a real part-time basis. And then after that, we're going to meet with a digital marketing group that can kind of help offload some of the kind of responsibilities that we really quite can't get to. There's not enough time in the day. This is all about delegation. Creating and building a team of people that could really, help us accentuate what we're already doing, add some firepower. we're here talking, right? No doubt about it. So I have been managing the business kind of like buy it for $1, sell it for $2, you know, and make sure that everything else I need to do is covered in that dollar that I got between buying it for $1 and selling it for $2, right? Right. Kind of like my friend tells me, it's the Pop Joe, you know, from The Wire.
Yeah. That's a great show.
Yeah, it's a great show. I spent half my life in Baltimore.
Did you really? Okay.
For me, The Wire rings real true.
Okay.
Really but it's that same kind of mentality. That's how we've run it, right? Which is good. You know, it's got us this far. But you know, overall, you know, like the language of money is a language all its own.
It is.
Right?
It is.
You know, so
think about what the best course of action is, and we have a couple of ideas that we're thinking about already.
Man. I'll show you the QuickBooks, whatever the fuck you want. Transparency is king.
No, that's how we operate. That's why we love customers like like yourself. It's like there's no bullshit. There's no. There's what it is. You lay it on the table, and how can we get this nationwide? That's the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we'll get a phone in 3 months.
So we're gonna make content, but just putting it up online is, you know, the kiss of death, right? If you just put it up without any work involved, it's like you spend all this time, effort to make it, and you spend nothing to push it, right? So that
still applies to a degree, and the only reason is because Instagram's sole core competency of what they really put out is content. So they don't want the front page cluttered with like a picture of this sign, because they'll be like, what the freak are you taking pictures of that for? So in that respect, you have that 20 minutes to an hour where if engagement doesn't come heavy, Instagram kind of locks you down.
Got it.
We send organic engagement. The engagement triggers you out of the sandbox, shows it to all of your followers. Again, if they're online, that's up to them. As far as at least they could see it if they go through
exactly.
their feed.
If they're
Now again, this is not a law. It's not like a rule that's like you must. So if someone's like, well, this one has 15,000, that's not bad. The goal is really, if you have 1,000 followers and you hashtag something that, let's say, has 1 million posts, you're going to show up and you're going to be buried instantaneously to the point where you might have got 3 impressions.
Right.
And now you're never going to be found again, because Instagram's algorithm, the farther you scroll down on the hashtag, the slower it loads. So people actually can't even find you after.
I didn't even know that.
Like, they don't care.
Wow.
They get to the point where they're like, I'm not scrolling any farther.
Yeah.
So once you're buried, you're buried.
So worked against you.
Yeah.
We did this. You know, I got the IGTV, and it's some sort of thing highlight, you know, then No Frogs. Then I have the fruits.
Yeah, those look pretty good.
Then I got Warped Tour.
Yeah. So stuff like that, that already looks pretty decent in terms of it's clean.
Right.
And you know, that's what you want. You want something there that if you're gonna have it at all, it looks like it's not just some random like, what the heck is this bubble?
If it takes longer, slower, you know, that more methodical, like genuine audience, you know. Now don't get me wrong, I know some people are gonna come and go, you know.
Yeah.
But that real genuine stickiness, you know. Now look, part of that's our responsibility on the content side.
Right.
To make sure we're continuing to do shit.
Right.
And to make sure the shit that's coming out is at least compelling enough to keep you around.
Right.
Right?
Like I said, there'll be some people that when we do our sort of what we're doing, they'll come and they'll follow you because they feel like, oh, you followed them.
Yeah.
And that's probably about like 10% of the people that literally are just, they don't know what they're doing. They're kind of like, oh, he followed me, out of respect, I'll follow him back.
Right.
And when, let's say, 9 months go by or something, or whatever the case is, and we stop doing work, over time, those 10% of people, they'll leave.
Yep.
Because as we've unfollowed them, and some will leave beforehand, but you'll see some, there'll be a few drop off. But if the account's done right, and this is another thing where a lot of people don't understand what we're doing. I know people who do it, and they do it wrong, and they screw up their account, where basically they grow like this, and then they stop, and it goes like this.
Yeah.
Because they've just been targeting incorrectly. Again, maybe the content sucked or whatever it was, so people are only following for the fact that you were engaging with them.
Yep.
What you want is you get like this, and then it drops ever so slightly. And that's basically all the people we discussed, that they followed you for the wrong reason, or they never really care, they just kind of followed back, whatever. They slowly drop off.